But moving on then, the 23rd edition of the BioAsia 2026 International Summit is currently underway in Hyderabad. This year's theme, Tech Bio Unleashed, AI Automation and the Biology Revolution. On the sidelines of the summit, my colleague Ekta Batra spoke to Dr. Reddy's co-chairman and MD, Mr. G.V. Prasad, and began by asking him about the company's FY27 outlook and the expected timeline for the launch of its generic Semaglutide in Canada. Let's listen in to what he had to say.
There is very little outstanding information that the regulator wants from us, and we will, give them whatever they ask for. And if everything goes well, May should be a timeline for which we think will happen.
Okay, so we are still working.
We are just waiting for approval. Once approved, we'll launch. There's nothing stopping us from launching.
So the outstanding issues you would say are resolved at this point?
More or less, yeah.
Okay. Any kind of site inspection?
Usually they may want some information, things like that. There's no inspection outstanding. It is just more information. Information requests we get, and then we submit the information.
How big or how lucrative a market would Canada be?
So Canada, for the initial time when we will be alone in the market for a few months, will be very significant. After that, competition will come in, like any other market, and then we'll start seeing price erosion.
Okay, so let me understand this. When you enter the market initially, assuming...
we are assuming. That's an assumption, yes. And we could be wrong. Yeah. But as far as we know, we believe that we are close to being the only one being approved in the next few months. Somebody may follow after that, and then new approvals may come in. But we believe that we will have some time alone. That would be a nice period for us.
Could you quantify that?
I can't, because it's very difficult.
Okay. What about, what are we working with when it comes to the emerging markets? Turkey, Brazil, China, all of them?
So we plan to launch in whichever market we have access to, where the patents allow us to launch, and also where we've registered the product or where we have a partner who's registering our product. So we've done a number of registration submissions. We are awaiting approvals, and as soon as they get approved, we'll start launching.
If you had to prioritize the markets at this point in time in terms of how lucrative they are for semaglutide, what would they be, including India?
In the near term, Canada is the biggest opportunity, but that's subject to many things.
Yes.
So if it works out, if it plays out, it could be a sizable market. India, the sheer volume will be high because of the number of people in this country. But at the same time, India will be a very competitive market. There are at least 25 others who are going to launch on day one here. In the other markets, it won't be so crowded at entry time. So in that sense, I think India will be an attractive market in terms of numbers, but it will also be highly competitive. It's also an opportunity to innovate a little bit in the device, things like that. So we don't know how it will turn out. But this category is a large category. The other thing is the life cycle play is also very big in this area. A lot of follow-on drugs are coming from Novo itself, as well as other innovators. So I would say the life cycles of products may be shorter than we anticipate.
Any in-licensing deals that you would then look at in order for newer novel therapies?
If companies are open to work with us and they are not launching directly, we'd certainly love to partner.
Okay. That's one of the strategies that you've taken for your India market, which has grown 19% in the quarter gone by. You've in-licensed products, and that's possibly what's helped the market. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We have started working with innovators around the world. Small to medium-sized innovators who don't have local marketing teams here. And we are bringing access to patients, products which they otherwise would not have access to through these partnerships. And some of them are really unique and address a big unmet need. And like our toripalimab, which we launched here, is doing well. And it's also addressing an indication which was underserved in this country.
Are you guiding or are you working with this kind of 15%, 20% growth in India going forward?
No. We generally don't give guidance. But our goal is to, at a company level, be a double-digit growth.
Okay. And what about the US? Because now we have a Revlimid going off.
Gone already.
Gone. So what does it look like in terms of launches and in terms of price pressure?
So there is pricing pressure. That's a reality of that market. Also, we see a lot of increased competition from India itself. Earlier days, we used to see 5 ANDAs, 3 ANDAs. Now it's 20 ANDAs on NCE minus 1 date. So the severity of competition has eroded the attractiveness of that market. But there are still opportunities, there are still niches, there are still exclusivity plays. So we'll do our best to bring products with less competition to the market. But, that depends a lot on the competition also.
But you have a couple of biosimilars in your pipeline for the US.
We do have.
Yes.
Some of them are late now, but we also have some very attractive first-to-market opportunities. They'll start, being meaningful 27, 28 onwards.
Denosumab and rituximab have complete response letters on them.
Yeah.
Would FY27 be when you could probably hear back?
Yeah, rituximab is likely to be launched.
In FY27?
FY27, absolutely.
Okay. Talking about the US, we have Section 232, which the US government has said they're still exploring when it comes to pharmaceuticals. Is that a threat considering that generics play such a huge part there?
The generics is a large portion of the medicines the US patients take. So pricing will be impacted if duties are imposed on that, tariffs are imposed. So my guess is it's less likely to have tariffs because it affects a lot of people, and in the end the manufacturer doesn't have enough margin to absorb duties today. So in that sense I feel and I hope they don't impose any tariffs on generics, and if they do also, I think it'll be absorbed by the market.
Are you rethinking your US strategy considering Section 232 and maybe even MFN, onshoring is becoming quite a big initiative?
MFN is applicable only to innovative branded products. We don't operate in that segment. But we are looking hard at the product mix, portfolio mix in the US to bring up our margins.
A lot of companies have evaluated M&A. Indian pharmaceutical companies, they've at least evaluated large-size mergers. Is that something that Dr. Reddy's is looking at? What is your M&A strategy?
So our M&A strategy is to look at longer life cycle products, stable margins, and something that can be easily integrated with our existing businesses, more like tuck-in acquisitions. So it will be largely in the space of brands, branded generics for India, for emerging markets, significant emerging markets. And we've also put a stake in the ground in terms of our presence in consumer health. So we are open to branded consumer health opportunities anywhere in the world.
Okay. But US would not be a priority?
We do have a US business also. So if there is a branded consumer health opportunity in the US, we will take a look at it depending on the valuations.